Hey, I'm Sarah, and this is the Goddess in Training podcast. This isn't about being perfect or polished or having it all figured out. This is about what happens when you actually start listening to your body, your intuition, your patterns, your truth. I'm asking big questions and having real conversations, sometimes messy and sometimes magical, with people who've lived through it, grown through it, and still don't have all the answers. If you've ever doubted yourself, betrayed your gut, or wondered if you're the only one, you're not. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to Goddess in Training. I'm Sarah, and today I'm sitting down with my friend, artist, and author, Erin Noel, the hands, heart, and fire behind It's Beautiful. Erin's story is one of surrender and transformation, from a powerful decision to step off anxiety meds to a white feather moment of grace, to finding her way back to creativity and connection through copper and words. We talk about how grief can be alchemized into joy, how Patina teaches patience, why journaling became a lifeline, and the legacy of her mother, Sandy, how it continues to weave through every cuff and page, especially Erin's guided journal, Whispers from Sandy. You'll hear about anchor moments, intuition, and what it means to create at the pace of the soul. And stick around to the very end because Erin does a little show and tell of her work. The verdigris patina cuffs porn from salt, vinegar, and thyme. Her flame-painted copper pieces, those etched feather bracelets, and the sweet beach-blessed detail she tucks into every order to keep Sandy's spirit close. All of Erin's links are in the show notes. Let's dive in. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Goddess in Training. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I'm here with my friend, Erin Noel. And gosh, I feel like as I've been doing this podcast, people just have been coming into my life in very, not unusual, but just roundabout ways. And when I meet people, I just have this knowing that they have amazing stories. And Erin is definitely one of those people. And before we sat down to talk today, she wanted to give me a little bit of information. I'm like, no, let's wait. It's better. It's better just to let it all unfold throughout the conversation. So I am so excited to learn along with you about Erin's path and what brought you here today. So Erin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So the main thing that I know you for, well, two things. You make copper jewelry, beautiful, beautiful copper jewelry. And then you've also written this journal in honor of your mother, Whispers from Sandy.
Yes.
So give us some background. How did you get to where you are right now?
I got to where I am right now. It's been a beautiful journey and it's been a hard one, but I'm so blessed that I'm here where I am now. It all started with coming off anxiety medicine. As I was doing, I did it cold turkey. And as I was doing it, I was off of it, I started feeling, I started seeing colors, sensations to my cheeks. And it's like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it just kept flowing. And my mom, that was huge with my mom too, because she was part of that, journey with me. So fast forward a few years after, I ended up in a difficult place, kind of separating myself from my mom because I didn't want her to see me in the dark place that I was. Unfortunately, the relationship that I was in became very toxic. And so the night I finally gave in and went out and I sat on the back deck, I just started crying out to God, tears just wailing, I'm ready, God. Yeah, I moved back home with mom, my parents, my safe place where people love me. I'm ready, and just giving it all to him. And I open my eyes and I just see this white glow all around me, and just like this huge, just this hug of just, I'm safe. I'm here. I've got you, Erin. You planted that seed. It's in deep. Let's roll. So the next day, I was sitting actually on the back deck of this place where I used to live, and I was on the phone with my mom, sharing with her the experience I had the night before, and this white feather came out of the sky, and that was yeah. And ever since then, I've been on a roll. and just stepping into my purpose, my alignment, my discernment, love, joy. So moving, that happened, and I moved back home with my parents, my son and myself. My mom was sick, but we didn't know how sick she was. She was a smoker. So during that time, and I didn't realize just that moment, but that all that happened for us to move back home with my mom, because she's always been my best friend, my everything all my life, my number one cheerleader, just everything, to give us time to reconnect and find what we have had since birth. So the night before she went in, no, the night she went into the hospital, she said she wanted to go have dinner. So we all did at Dudley's in Madison Heights. And I've got an amazing picture with her. And when my son and I came home first, and her and my stepdad went for a ride. She got out of the car when they got home, and we were sitting on the front stoop where she always sat, smoking her cigarette. And she said, I refuse to be one of those people. I know I'm one of those people, but I refuse. So in that moment, Mom had already given in with grace, knowing that she didn't want to live like this with oxygen. She was talking about people with oxygen,
Okay.
having to go out in community, and she just didn't want to be that person. Being a burden.
Yeah.
Or just her, just having to deal with that, just hard on herself. She would often go to the grocery store or wherever, and she would faint or just get weak and fall. Again, that she gave with grace. I'm done. I'm ready. So she went into the hospital that evening, and a week later, of course I was there. My son and I were there every day. Anyways, the day that she left, she went on her next journey. I got a phone call. She wouldn't answer the phone, and I know for a reason she wouldn't answer the phone. It would pick up, nothing was said. I would call her room, nothing. Finally called the nurse's station. She's like, let me go check. So she did, and she gives me a call back. And in fact, I said something to my stepdad. I said, you think she's being, extra, nobody's over there because that, Mom. But he's like, and it's about 6:30, and he said, I'm going to go over there and watch the news with your mom. And he hadn't done that since she was in the hospital. I feel like I need to do that. So on his way over there, he got the call. Then we got the call, my son and myself. So of course, it's like, no, mom, fight, mom, no, mom. But as we were going down the road, my son and myself together, and he looks at me, and I'm just, no, mom. We both at the same time had this just breath and this hug, and it was Mom, it was God. It was her letting us know that she's safe. She's here, she loves us, and she's good. And he looked at me, said, felt it too.
Oh my God.
This was last year. He was 13 at the time. And they were gaga to my son was just Harper was her world. So, and just having that experience with my son too was huge. So anyhow, after she passed, my way of healing, she was an amazing creator. She could create anything out of anything. She could just pencil, paint, craft, anything. She dabbled in jewelry before, and I had too, but it was never really copper. And previous, go back a little bit, I had asked her if I could have, a little bit of copper, because she worked at a place downtown, MB Handy Company. It's a roofing company. She was hoarding, having, because she had these aspirations and creative ideas she was going to do with these pieces of copper, which was gutters, and there's like these gorgeous vertigus patina, like squares. Anyway, she gave me a piece just to see what I would do with it. She wouldn't give it all to me. She said, it takes a small fortune if you want to use copper. And I did. What I created first ended up being, I wanted it to be like a bowl, but it became a plant holder. Yeah. So then, and she gave me some rod, and now it's my walking stick, which was then, but it's still. So after she passed, I found all this copper. And in the basement, over in the corners where she had a little workstation, her bench. So I found all this copper, a plethora of copper.
My gosh.
And I sat down there and endlessly, day after day after day, day after day after day. And at first, I had the TV going, I had this going, it just helped with my thoughts.
Processing grief.
Yeah, and it was a lot. I was grieving through, because 3 big whams that year hit me, and that was the third. So it was a whole lot of healing that I set in space, and it eventually became silence, where I didn't want any noise around, and I was okay with my own thoughts. It was progressively even more just healing, mindfulness, just becoming aware of it was meditation for me. Centering, grounding, finding peace, finding joy, realizing my purpose, having mom, healing with my mom, knowing each piece that I started creating. Again, I didn't really create prior. And my first piece I made was mom guiding me the way. It's just, yeah. So, and it's just evolving ever since. YouTube has been my source. I'm self-taught. Even though she was a creator, we never sat down for me to learn. I wasn't in that space to sit down and learn. She would also, I would send her pictures and she was just my biggest fan. You're doing great and maybe do this, but she would never critique and just kind of direct me in a allowed the process because she was a creator herself and she knew. Yeah. And people often shared with her, why don't you sell? Why don't you do this? And she said, well, take the joy out of it. However, I think she was fearful because she was a single mom for so long and she had to take care of my sister and myself. So she worked and she just never felt safe enough to do so. But so I think also given the opportunity, I was working at Minnick School here in Lynchburg with, the disabled, the special ones. Oh gosh, they're special. And after she passed, I quit. I sat in the basement and here we are. So I feel like by doing that, I was also also making her dreams come true. Cutting that cord of fear and allowing the trust to have faith and just let it flow. Wow. With guidance of universe, God, and her and all of my beautiful spirit.
So many things struck me in your story, but especially the moments of surrender, your surrender, her surrender, and how you came to this place of beautiful co-creation through both of your surrenders. In what ways are you continuing to surrender now that these kind of anchor moments have passed?
Ways am I continuing to surrender, giving in to whatever emotions, whatever feelings I feel are coming on, allowing myself to shed that tear, to cry, because after that moment on the back of the deck, your tears are what is growth. You need water to grow, just like everything in life. And just continuing to surrender, just, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about emotion? I think for a long portion of my life, I kind of pushed away emotion or
Yeah.
felt like it was a hindrance,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now I've come into this place where I've realized how important emotion is, that emotion serves the purpose of connection. And I can feel through your story too that you continue to connect with your mother, and that people say that grief is a process, but maybe that emotion is supposed to
Yeah.
continue
Yeah.
because it keeps the connection with her and allows you to continue to co-create with her.
Yeah. Absolutely. My grief, it's having my grief, of course, in the beginning, I've had those moments, why mom, just letting her have it. But that was a moment of the emotions that we go through during this whole process, right? But through my journey to getting to where I am now, becoming aware and mindful of we go through these difficult times to find light. And once you find that light and get through that, it's easier to heal. And so I just started looking at it in a positive and light and knowing she's here beside me and with me. And I communicate with her every day. After she passed, I was sitting on the front porch and I was talking to her, and in my right ear, that's my receiving ear, I love you too, sweet pea. And yeah, that's to be able to experience that, be gifted enough to know what's going on and blessed to have that ability. I am so thankful. I'm so thankful. And from that, it's just continued to, yeah, she's here. And like every moment when I'm getting ready to go to a festival or even coming here, I'm like, mom, you're ready to roll, mom, let's do it. Let's do it, mom. And I'm just, mom, and just giving it all out to her. And she's just smiling and she's just.
It's like having a cheerleader on your shoulder all the time.
So that's how it's like the whole grieving, that's how I'm getting through it. I talk to her every day. I know she's here.
It's almost like alchemizing the grief into joy and into power and into creation.
So that's what the copper's doing. That's my.
So tell me a little bit more about your creative process and what that looks like.
That creative process, oh, it's fun. If you're over, it's fun. I'll go down there and I'll have, these intentions and thoughts of doing this one thing. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that one thing. I go through feelings, intuition, what I'm feeling in that moment, and it evolves to what it's supposed to be, coming from heart, coming from soul, coming from everything I've put into it. And I'm guided and I listen and I do. It's not listening, I just flow, and I love that. I love it. So it's kind of when I say there's no two pieces alike, that's the reason there's no two pieces alike, because it's hard for me to go down and make two pieces.
Yeah.
As much as I try, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like even if you're an actor reciting lines, you're not going to recite the lines in
Right.
the same
Yeah.
way because there's always love and emotion put into it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then from people, my beautiful souls that have supported me, they share that, I can feel when I wear it, your intentions, your joy, your passion, everything that you're putting into this. And your mom, I can feel your mom in these pieces that I am wearing.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly can feel her presence, your presence. It's almost like weaving a web too with every piece that you give that energy to somebody else, then you're forever connected,
Yeah.
right? I felt this way about this podcast too, that every story that I help bring into the world, it's like this bond that's created and that will never sever. And then also thank you to the world that we live in and the internet, that it lives forever and it can reach every single ear that is needing to hear the message in that moment. And so it's this beautiful web where we're all co-creating together and bringing joy to each other even when we're not right in front of each other.
Right, right. And I've never experienced any of this until just the connections that I'm creating now. I have now through these beautiful souls and just the women, empowering women, and just it's beautiful. It's beautiful because then it just keeps flowing in, and it's just helps me step even more into my testimony, into what I believe in, my truth. And I think sharing truth is the way of finding your light.
And I think we're in this moment too, where so many of us are being called to step into this role and to trust and to let go of the fear that permeated the lives of our mothers, of our grandmothers. Like your mother was not able to be the creator that she knew she was at her core because she had so much pressure
Right.
to provide for her family. And I'm feeling the same thing, that like I'm birthing into this world the creations that lived in the hearts of all of the women that came before us. Are there moments where you question the trust, where you're like, okay, I know this is my path, but I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. I don't know how everything is going to fall in line, and where you just have to continue to walk this path of faith? And then how do you get through those moments of doubt?
Good question. I used to question faith, question, trust, and I worry, but I don't anymore because I know I'm on the right path. I know this is my journey. I know this is where I'm supposed to be. And once I gave into that as well, allowing the process and just let it flow, it just continues and it's flowing. And I think that you have to do that in order for it to, you have to surrender and give in, and it will happen.
Yeah.
And I tend to, what I do have a problem with sometimes is wanting all these things to happen, but stepping back and one thing at a time is what I need to focus on and allow to happen, because no pressure, right? No
Right.
pressure. So that's just trusting and letting it flow. It's part of my journey.
So talk a little bit about the role of journaling and how you came up with this idea of creating this journal in honor of your mother.
Journaling has been, I mean, for years, since I can even remember, was my way of releasing. And it was all, even going back and reading them from many, many moons ago, it was moments of darkness. And it was always darkness. And just, it's really never somewhere of thank you, joy, stuff like that. But it was, the moments of I'm praying, I'm asking here, surrendering throughout my journals, and then ending with thank you. And, this is where I'm going to be in my space. I accept what have you. So it's always been my place of releasing and a healing aspect. So this is where the Whispers from Sandy came from, because it worked for me. However, guided journalism is hard for me because I just let it flow. But for those that need guided journal and self affirmations, which are just reading those in themselves help in a just tremendous way. So this is my way of helping others, just helping give them guidance to find their joy, their light, their creativity. Because I also being creative and allowing your creativity to flow, that's also healing. That's also just light. It's opening your mind, becoming mindful, aware of your true self.
I was thinking about creation and the womb, and I was imagining the space where you create and going down. It's in a basement, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm envisioning this process of like going down the stairs and going into this space that has this sacred feel to it, where there's like a little bit of darkness,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
where you're then creating the light of
Yeah.
this beautiful joy.
Exactly. Yes, and thank you for that. Wow. Yes, and that is what it is. Because it's over in the corner and it's in the darkest point of the basement. And it's paint, it's all this, all this other stuff around there. But I made it my space to spend time with my mom and to heal and create these amazing pieces.
Do you have any other rituals when you go down there and when you're in that creative mode, when you enter in or come out?
It depends, not all the time because I just get in my space when I go down there. But there's a lot of times I listen to drums, some shamanic, just to get me in my space, especially if there's moments where I just want to get deeper in there into the meditative part of it. And I'll do my shamanic and my sage and I'll have my incense and that good stuff. But other than that, no. There are times I'll go down there and I'm blocked. Yeah, I'll go down there and blocked. So I'll get up, I'll go out in nature, I'll walk, I'll do something else, and then just let it just hopefully come to me. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm not going to force it because I've learned when I'm working on a piece and it's not coming out right and I get frustrated and I just want it to work, 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 it doesn't work. So I've got to sit back, let it go, start either the next day or a couple of days later or later on that evening or that day or however, and it'll end up being something else. Beautiful. Yeah, so don't force.
Did you experience any technical roadblocks when you were first starting? Like, and how did you get through those?
Technical roadblocks? Yes.
Yeah.
Because of internet, computer illiterate me and figuring out how to do all that. Because not only or when I do this, I had to learn to be a photographer. I had to learn social media, which I'm not a big fan of social media, but I have to do this.
Right.
We do.
Right.
Right. And you have to kind of subject yourself to, putting it out there on the daily, but I'm still trying to get better at that. And just, Canva and coming up with, just how to get it out there. Yeah, all of that. I had no idea. I just learned how to copy and paste this past year, this past year from my son and how to do, I mean, there's so many just these little small things because I never really worked with a computer. And then the financial side of it and here, the festivals, and being by myself and doing all this on my own, I feel like there's times I'm like, there's just people out there that have all this help. But then I remind myself, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be doing this on your own. This is your baby. You were learning this from the bottom up. You're not supposed to have anybody help you. It's your time.
I've had those same messages and that same frustration with it. But then also, whenever I hit a roadblock, the information, the person, the little piece of help that I need just always comes in exactly when you need it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, thank you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So your mom, it sounds like she was such a joyful person. Does she come to you with any jokes? Does she come to you with like levity in moments when you're feeling a little bit of heaviness?
When she comes with me to jokes, sometimes I think she does. She'll definitely let me know she's there for sure. Like sitting out on her back porch, Greenland porch was her sacred place. And I look over and she's got this big, huge driftwood tree and she's got it down in a pot with shells all around it. She's got those lights all around the tree. And this one light will start blinking. Just start blinking, which is, I know that's her. But as far as like fun stuff, no, I feel her more doing that because other than, showing me now, but I feel her when she does. She's right here right now.
I'm so curious about your son and your son being connected and being connected in that moment when you both had that knowing. I have kids myself, and I think they're a little bit resistant to the things that I talk about.
Yeah.
and to have your son be a teenager and be like, no, and have that moment where he felt it. How does he feel about the path that you're on? And are there moments where he's like a typical teenager and he's like, I don't know, mom, like, is this really what we should be doing?
Harper, he is a he's an old soul.
Mm.
He's an old soul. He's very wise. And the things he just comes out with as far as wisdom and just from the heart, from the soul, and just knows how to say it.
Wow.
He just cares so much about for others that are in his circle. And he's found that he could, in a safe place, ever since he was little, itty bitty, he was orbs and he could, these things that, but yeah, of course, as we get older, we start suppressing and I know that's not real. No, that's not real. And that's where he is at now.
Yeah.
He will let it surface every now and again. And he just thinks that's my mom's wonky winky and she's just fun and eccentric. And that's just my mom. He's like, and I'm not going to stop.
Right.
And if I say anything to him, he's like, of course, he debunks it. No, and fights me on it. But he'll come back to, hopefully, back to, his gifts. And if he will. He will. He will for sure. And he's also, he's a creative, very much musically, anything. Yes, art. But he says no, because his dad's a musician. I'm the artist. Gaga was the artist. So, I guess maybe us trying to push it on him a little bit. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll find a space. He knows he has seen me go through struggles. He's seen me in my darkest times because it's just he and I.
Yeah.
It was just he and I. So he's seen me through it. So his joy now, he's good. He knows it's where we're going to be. He knows we're going to, our mom's legacy, her honoring her, and we're getting there. We are there. We are there.
I have a tendency to correct myself in the same way that like, okay, I'm on this path. I'm moving toward this position. But no, we're actually here. And I've been trying to manifest ease. And then after a few weeks of trying to call that in, I turned around, I looked around, I was like, my life is actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
right?
Why am I trying to call this in when it's already here? And I feel like that happens all the time. Are there other examples of that in your life where you're like, oh, well, I'm going here. I'm going here. This is my plan. This is where I'm going. And then you realize, well, like, wait, no, I'm already here.
Yes. I guess it was probably the biggest spring when I was trying to do all this and that. And I just wanted things to happen fast because of the income, because of the money and, being able to provide, because I needed it now. That was going back to the worry. However, I was quickly in space. No, because the more you worry and think about it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you need to sit back, you need to recollect yourself, refocus, and one thing at a time, and just allow it to happen. And I still can have a tendency as far as having all these, I want to get, these cards, these, books. I've got a big book I'm working on. I just keep plugging in, and one day I'll find time to do that. So I have all these ideas that are going to happen. I'm learning to, one thing.
It's so hard to disconnect from what we've been programmed to do, to think that our value is based off of what we produce. And so we're in this culture of like, go, do. And we feel like there's something missing if we're not doing that. But I've also been leaning into that, like, it's okay to be slow. It's okay to let things happen. Someone also,
it's good.
Yeah.
Like you need that.
Yeah.
There's times to be.
And that's when you can create too.
Right.
You have to have that slowness in order to really birth things into life. And someone also told me recently, and I've been thinking a lot about this, that we have these anchor moments in our life, these things that our souls were meant for, that will happen regardless of anything that happens in between, right? And then the things that we do, the choices in between those anchor moments matter, but not really so much. So obviously your mom passing, moving in back in with your parents, those were anchor moments.
Yeah.
What other anchor moments have there been in your life?
It's beautiful. Where my mantra, it's beautiful, comes from is 17. I guess I started with anxiety that ended up turning into severe panic attacks. Severe panic attacks to where I got so scared, I wouldn't leave the house. I was up in my bedroom one morning and I was rocking, just crying out to mom. She was before she went to work. Mom, please. And I need help. Please help me. So that morning we went to the doctor. And of course, what do? They give you Xanax. I was 17. So I am now 48. So Xanax then, and then as you go through another doctor, I was put on Klonopin for years. Didn't take it while I was pregnant with my son, then ended up back on it because I didn't know how to deal with my emotions, what I was receiving and how to separate. And that's what it was, is being an empath and getting all these feelings and all this and just learning how to deal with them all. Anyway, so 2020, I just kept hearing in my source, you know, it's time to come off. It's time to come off the Klonopin. What if it's a time you don't have it? And this is before COVID. What if there's a moment where you're not able to get it? So I did. I went to my parents, I sat in the spare bedroom, and I laid there cold turkey and stopped. Just Klonopin. I quit drinking. I quit smoking Klonopin. When I do things, I do them big. And it's not like I was a big drinker or anything. Anyway, so I did. I was there for maybe 2-3 days and ended up coming back home. And I have recordings of myself. I had to, Erin, you're putting toothpaste on your toothbrush. So it was shadow. I was retraining my brain. And now that I realize that was the beginning of this beautiful journey that I'm on now, just soul's death. So when I started feeling sensations in my cheeks. I started seeing colors, the sky, trees, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful started coming up. And just from there, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So from that moment, it's beautiful has been my way of healing, my mantra. So within everything, it's beautiful. And that's what gets me through any hard time as well. I will sit in mindfulness and space and say, and find something. It's beautiful. And it's just grown and evolved from there. And my mom, she embraced that with all of her soul as well. So my jewelry being It's Beautiful, Copper Creations, that's where it all stemmed from, because It's Beautiful is going to be something. I'm going to get It's Beautiful out there. I'm going to get my story out there. I want to be out there. I want to help others find their joy, their light, and know that they are beautiful.
And there's so much gratitude that comes along with that statement too. It's like when we notice all of the little things, I mean, there's beauty everywhere. I'm like looking at the shadows over there. That's one thing that we always have. I mean, even if you're in a pitch black room, you can close your eyes and you can find something that's beautiful and you can find something to be grateful.
If you could just pick 3 things out from, something you even look at every day or just go outside or whatever, 3 things out, it's mindfulness and you'll find the beauty. And within yourself. And it's beautiful. Yeah, it is. And it's beautiful. So everything was always so surface with me. I didn't see anything as the big picture. I saw this as brick. I saw a tree as a tree. You know what I'm saying? And I was surface. So I experimented with mushrooms. It opened me up to the beauty, the joy, the interconnectedness of just everything. Yeah. Us, everything. Love, joy, just seeing everything in a different light. Now I just like looking at things. I can just,
Yeah. I love that there are so many studies being performed right now, specifically on people who have anxiety and who have PTSD. As somebody who's been in those places in your life and then have experienced the psychedelics, the psilocybin, can you see how that really can help in that?
Absolutely. And that is one thing that helped me when I came off my medicine is here and there. It was always for healing.
Right.
And just to go out and see what else is out there. Go into that next space. Yeah.
For me,
it's where I think you get connected.
Yeah. For me too, I think that it helped release all fear. And when you release fear, then you can live life in this really, really abundant way, because then you don't have all those little anxieties and you just have confirmation, and having your mom too, that like you're protected.
Yes. And also I think I learned from it as well is it's mind over matter. You can control sometimes, this dark moment. No. If you have that good mindfulness and that control, you can bring it right back down too. Sure, there's emotions that you need to get out, which that's what it does. It brings them all up.
Yeah.
All up. And there's been times I've just wept and wept and wept. And then the first time, like, what's going on here? But realizing later, it's bringing everything up that what's been here since womb,
Or even possibly your
ancestors. Exactly. That's the magical moment of it as well. And they are magical. They are magical. And I used to just love. And, mushrooms. But since it served its purpose with me, I don't, you know.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I feel called every once in a while.
Right,
And
well, sure.
I
Yeah.
help other people journey, but
Yeah.
the big moments of realization that I've had have kind of diminished
Mhm.
when I take them, and they really give you exactly what you need
They do.
every
They do.
and then they
Absolutely.
call to you when you do need something.
Exactly.
Really
You are correct.
amazing plant medicine. Are there other plants that you utilize on a regular basis?
Don't. I had a bad experience senior week and years ago. Decided I wanted to take a bong hit or smoke pot. Well, I smoked too much, and yeah, it was not a good experience. So from that, it's still getting to that place where,
It's so interesting. It doesn't work
yeah,
for me either. I know a lot of people experience a lot of healing,
yeah,
but not me.
yeah,
It doesn't work. But the
yeah,
mushrooms really do resonate with me for
same,
whatever reason.
same,
Yeah. It's
same.
so interesting too that I went on
Well, look how long mushrooms have been around.
yeah,
Look what they do for,
I know. I know.
yeah, they eat everything. You go.
In society, people are like, "Oh, don't do that. Like,
Right.
that medicine is bad." But then
Mm-hmm.
we're put on drugs. Like I was put on Prozac about the same
Mm-hmm.
time as you were. And, I just so wish that there were other tools available to me in those
Right.
moments when,
Right.
who knows what was going
To where you can feel, right? Because when you're on those, and one other thing, when I realized that I did not feel, and my soul had become numb. I'd become numb to everybody, to anything, to even myself.
on. Yeah.
And I was numb. I wasn't dead, but I didn't feel. I didn't feel anything at all. So once I started feeling, and mushrooms started feeling just emotions, and oh, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Joy, pure joy. And even just like a sadness, even just what any kind of emotion that's coming through at that moment, for whatever time it is or whatever, you feel it, and you feel for others, and it's for others, the compassion that you have for others, because you're numb. And my son, so after he was with me throughout this whole thing, right? So I remember sitting on the front porch after, and he said, Mom, when you were on the medicine, you just told me to get over it. When I cried, you told me to get over it. He said, but now, Mom, you don't do that. You don't do that anymore. And moments like, yeah. And I've never once thought about going back and taking it, not whatsoever, because there's moments of what you were just said earlier, clarity, or just something, you have that moment, and that's one of those moments. Is no, I'm on my right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and what I'm doing also is showing him how to fight, and never to give up, never give up.
What amazing perception
Yeah.
and wisdom from a young person.
I'm telling you, and he knows when to say it at the right time.
Yeah. It seems like you have this co-creation relationship with him too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. In the same way as with your mother too. I think that we all do, that
Yeah.
gosh, the egg that creates us was inside of our
Yeah.
grandmother.
My grandmother, well, and mine was just, she was the core and the salt of the family, and brought us all together.
Oh, wow.
And when she passed, that's actually, 2 years later, that's when because she took it tough. Yeah.
Wow.
Mom didn't learn how to cook from grandma. I did, but she learned all the other good stuff.
Your mom didn't create in the kitchen?
No, not really. She was too busy cooking everything else. Yeah. And that's on the refrigerator. That's a copy.
Oh, put on your dancing shoes
Yeah.
and pretend that you are going somewhere. Oh, that's wisdom from Erin's mother. What was your mother's name?
Sandy.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
That was
Just Sandra, but we called her Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Did she love the beach?
She loved the beach.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, she loved the beach. And in fact, gosh, she would wake up earliest as, before the sun's even rising, and, go out and find her shells. And the most imperfect, perfect one, endless amount of shells at the house as well. What I do with all my pieces, and when I have my craft show or festivals, I always give a shell with my creation, just for them to have mom with them.
Yeah.
And for them to place it anywhere to keep mom's spirit alive. She's made it to Hawaii now. She's so happy about that. And
It seems like there were so many seeds that she planted
He did.
for you.
But you don't realize that, right?
And do you think that she recognized that
No.
in the moment? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
definitely not.
She was just going and being and doing.
Mm,
But I think,
yeah.
now she
Yeah.
recognizes like,
Yeah, she
"Yeah,
does.
I did that." And that maybe that there's some other power that's inspiring us to
Mhm.
collect shells and leave them around.
Yeah.
Like these little
Yeah.
things that we think are meaningless
Mhm.
and these little things that we're
Mhm.
drawn to that later on we realize that they're actually really important.
Yeah. And before, like you just said, like looking at all these shells, like they had no significance to me, but now they do.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So what's next? What are you excited for that's coming up?
Oh, well, I'm going to start at some point, hopefully, offering classes. So come create with me, come share stories, sending earrings, just you name it, whatever. Because everybody has that creative part in their soul, and just bringing that out in them because that's what my mom did, and sending them home with their own piece that they created with some tools so they can go home and continue to create.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's
And so igniting that spark and
igniting that spark.
giving people permission to sit and be.
Mhm.
We're so
Yeah.
busy all the time. People don't sit down
Mm.
and share stories
Mhm.
and connect. And I think we're really craving that in this moment. So providing those opportunities for
And it's not just jewelry, it's just everything you can do with nature too. You can, oh gosh, the things you can create with that and just bringing it in and just sitting in space.
well, there's a great space here.
I know, and
Do that.
this is where this is where 1023 Commerce Street. My mom worked at MB Handy Company right across the street from where I am right now. So all my life, little infant, whatever, I've been going to MB Handy Company on Commerce Street. So that just brought in 1023 Commerce Street. It's just wow, wow. It's
There are no
there's no
coincidences.
coincidences.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've
yeah.
been saying that a lot
And
recently.
somebody once told me, stop thinking everything's a sign. Everything's blah, blah," because I'm like, no, no, no. You're sorry for you, but it is. It is a sign. It is. It's not coincidental. It's
And the more you lean into that and
right.
believe it, even if it's just confirmation that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in every moment, it is. It just helps again live a life with ease
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
joy
Yeah.
by seeing those little things.
After coming off my medicine, I saw 12, 12, 12, 4, 4, 4, just all through the day. It wasn't just one, it was 12, 12, 11, 11, and just continuous. I see 420, but I don't smoke. But anyway, yeah, that's my number.
It's almost like training. It's
Yeah.
spiritual training. It's
Mhm.
training to
Yeah.
listen to your intuition because you
Right.
have to have that awareness
Mhm.
and yeah, being open to what's not right in front of us, what's not like tangible right in front of in order to listen to our
Right.
intuition.
Now, did you have training for this awareness, or did it just happen?
Yeah, I mean, lots and lots of training that I didn't realize was
Right.
training.
I gotcha. Yeah. Because I didn't know about the numbers and seeing these numbers and the significance of them. But when I first started seeing them, it was just immediately
And
I,
it's so,
I felt I knew.
yeah. And it's so funny that like you think you're weird when you
Right.
start realizing these
Yeah.
things. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden people who are experiencing the same things
Mm.
just come to you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, how
Yeah.
is that? Why is that? Again, it's not
Yeah.
a coincidence.
Right. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, Erin, thank you so much. Is there
Thank you.
anything else that you want to share?
Not at all. Other than you can follow me on Facebook.
Yes. Yes. All of the
Yes.
places where you can find Erin will be in the show notes.
Mhm.
And so please reach out if you're in Lynchburg or if you're not in Lynchburg. I'm sure you ship your beautiful jewelry.
I do.
everywhere.
I do.
And I'm so excited to see what's next. I feel like your classes, I feel like there's something else too there
Yeah.
that's going to open
Yeah.
up for you in the near future. So I'm
Yes. This
excited.
is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is just the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Here that you feel drawn to in this moment that there's some kind of connection to.
All of them. All of them. Every single one of them again, because it's this right here, my mom.
Aw.
This is the night when she went to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Look at you can see on her face where she's just peaceful. And then that's how cool she was. I gotta have fun. All right, so no, all of them. Well, these especially, because these are soon after
Mm-hmm.
her loving the beach.
Wow.
Sand dollars and starfish. Get a good look
Yeah.
there. And the Vertigus copper. They're my favorite pieces too. All of them.
So
Yeah, all of them.
about like what this material is.
This is copper, and
Yeah.
the verdigris is a natural patina. The
Okay.
copper does on its own.
Okay.
So this is the color that you get from that.
Yeah.
It's like I have my cuff right here,
Uh-huh.
and these are the samples my mom got while she was a handy.
Wow.
Now this is a patina that I created on my own
Wow. Okay.
for a copper cuff, and that's beautiful.
So what's the process of creating patina?
I use ammonia as my activator. I set it down in the in the bottom or whatever I'm going to seal, and that is the activator. What I put on these, salt, vinegar. Sometimes you can use red wine. You can use
acid. Yeah.
acid, right? It depends. And honestly, you never really know what it's going to turn out like because it's the atmosphere
Oh.
is what does the work. Because it was always like a surprise.
Wow.
And when you go to clean it off and see what's been created. Now this right here, this is called flame painting. I use a torch. I love flame art too. And the way I sealed this one, it's kind of hieroglyphic, right? Can you see it in there?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And then here are some earrings right there.
And so how do you create that effect?
A torch. Well, at first I was using just like butane torch about that big. But now I've gotten into like the so yeah, you take the torch and you just you on the copper. Another reason why I love working with copper is because all these beautiful tones
Yeah.
and colors that you can bring out
Yeah.
via fire or what have you. And so yeah, it's just the torch and learning the process of how to get these colors is fun too.
I bet.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of
A
experimentation.
lot of experimentation. Right, and I never thought I'd be using a torch and making flame art a year and a half
What's
ago.
your sign? Do you have a fire?
I'm
sign?
Sagittarius.
Which is it fire?
Fire.
It's fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and getting into my Akashic records,
Yeah.
which was huge. I worked with fire
Uh-huh.
back many years ago.
Uh-huh.
Hala was my name.
Uh-huh.
I was a flamethrower, and also I worked with metal.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And there's feathers.
And so are you
I
like etching into
I etched that,
Yeah.
and I used a Dremel for that.
Okay.
But when I first started out this process, I used hand files,
Oh wow.
which set me in space because it took longer,
Okay.
and it was the motion of going back and forth with my hands
Mm-hmm.
to file down the edges and all that. I mean, everything I used, like these edges through here, I did by hand with just a little file, and then I discovered the Dremel.
Wow.
So the Dremel also you can do the etching.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, it is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
It
Thank
is
you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you, Erin. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess in Training. I hope something in this episode stirred your knowing or softened your heart. If it spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it, or leave a review or comment to help others find us. If you're watching on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to hear more conversations like this, please consider supporting Goddess in Training on Patreon. For more tools and offerings to deepen your intuition practice, visit goddessintraining.online. You can also join the Scroll of Seshat on Substack for twice-weekly stories of how I followed my intuition. The music for Goddess in Training is Madre Ayahuasca by Arkawa, and you can find more of his music in the link to his website in the show notes. Remember, your intuition is not a mystery, it's a memory. Keep listening.
Madre Ayahuasca, resplandor del fuego, estrellita, tabaco santo, fuerza de rapé, soplo de luz, soplo encantado, viajecito, bendición del cielo, fortaleza, tigrecito de nacer.